Your voice, your opinion, your community. Fact TV, free speech, protected.
Nope.
Ha!
Welcome
That was
again.
a trailer.
Today is not our day.
Welcome to Gory Story Time, where the only way we have sex is on the bottom because we can only fuck. Is a man showing you his junk a red flag?
How hard is it to make a popular YouTube channel?
And how many red flags does it take before you leave a job interview?
All this and more on Gory Story Time.
Warning. Gory Storytime is a horror movie review show by a son and his dad who thought that letting his 5-year-old watch scary movies was acceptable. If you are offended by horror or talk about blood and gore by a child, or if you don't want horror movies from the 60s through today spoiled, then there is a remote stuck in your couch cushion next to potato chip crumbs. Use it. And of course, parental discretion is advised.
Why? You didn't use any.
Shut up and start the show.
Welcome to Gory Story Time. I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig. And quickly to answer those questions, yes, if it's in the first 20 minutes of meeting, very, and not many. If you want to match those up, go back and,
Yeah. So we're finally finishing our group of 4 that we started at the beginning of December. 4 found footage movies.
Yes.
We started with Creep, so of course we finished with Creep 2.
I mean, to be fair, we had our Christmas episode, what we do every year, and then we had our
Week off.
we had some time off, and then we had the episode last week where we're letting
Looking
you know
forward
things
to
that are
movies
coming
this year, right.
Yeah, we always do that first of the year, so
Yeah, so
this we finally
we're
get to
back to actually Gory Story Time yet again.
it. Yes. So Creep 2. For those who don't know, Creep was an interesting found footage movie where a guy hires someone to videotape him,
Because he's dying of a brain tumor.
and he wants his son to have this footage because he found out his wife was pregnant, and this is something he wants to leave to his child.
Right.
This picks up not long after, I don't know, a couple years
know.
after probably in
Yeah.
time. And there's more humor to it, and but it fits the character.
It totally does.
And that's
So.
about all I can say.
Yeah,
is
it's
he
a
hires
found
someone
footage
to
movie where he hires another person to film
basic
him.
premise, it's not even a spoiler. He hires a woman who has a YouTube channel to come and videotape him in a documentary style because he wants to let people know he is the world's best unknown serial killer.
Right.
Because he's about to turn 40 and he's like, hey, I should do something big.
Yeah, he's like
People should know all the murders I've done is basically his plot.
yeah.
And he hires this woman who is desperate for views to do
Film
a
his
documentary.
documentary.
Yeah.
Right.
Everything else from there, I'm not going to spoil.
Yeah, everything kind of gets spoilery. So
So before we get into the rest of the show, why don't we roll the trailer?
I'm Sarah. Hey, welcome to Encounters.
Sunday morning, I woke up.
I'm Sarah.
Hey, Sarah, how you doing?
The show where I look behind the strange world of online personal ads. What is their story? Who are these people? So subscribe and join me on this journey. You never know who you might meet next. Hello?
since I turned 40. I've lost my inspiration. I have no joy. I'm having a hard time. What am I doing trying to make the films that I used to make? What if I make a documentary? And this is where you come in.
I have no idea what I'm stepping into.
Together, I believe we will make magic.
Aaron, is that you?
You are inspiring feelings in me. I don't know what to do.
Oh my God. This is gonna be a good day.
I'm very excited about it, okay?
Sunday morning,
Are you ready to go?
Wow, you're a tough nut to crack.
All right.
Yep.
It's definitely a little more humorous, but before we get into the behind the scenes stuff, we got to do what we do every week here. For those who are wondering, why would you do a show every week for years where you're, for free talking about horror movies? Well, it's because we're not doing it for free. We're doing it for big, fat stacks of cash. These real companies are sending us truckloads of money, just making it rain on us to promote their products every week.
Heck
But
yeah.
none of them come back to have us promote a second product, it seems. That's the weird
Nope.
part. But anyway, this week, our fat wallets are being filled by, let's see. Gory Storytime is brought to you by the Personal Ad Creator app. Do you have a hard time trying to know what to say about yourself on an online dating site? Let the Personal Ad Creator do it for you. There's never been an easier way to promote just who you are online. Simply check the boxes next to the words that fit you and your lifestyle, and the app does the rest. That's the Personal Ad Creator app. Look for it today.
All right. And by Red Flags, the new RPG game for adults. The premise is simple. You meet someone for a job interview, and the interviewer tries to convince you to take the job. The only rule you have is to follow your instincts and watch for red flags, and make the right decisions when you see them. With over 100 scripts for the interviewer, there are many outcomes to enjoy. We also have scripts being worked out for future editions about marriage and more. That's Red Flags, a game of survival from GST Games.
Perfect. See, I lied. GST Games has promoted us before, or had us promote them before. Aha.
I mean, yeah. Shameless plug.
Yeah. All right. Now, anything you want to say about the plot before we get into this?
Not really.
Okay.
Before we go into spoiling the second one, if you haven't seen them, they're both on Netflix.
Yeah, absolutely. They're both Netflix films.
Yeah.
So
Go right ahead and click onto that first, so we're not spoiling anything for you.
all right.
All right.
Go ahead and go first.
Because the script was only an outline, oftentimes Mark Duplass and Desiree Aghaven, would surprise each other with their choices, which created the desired natural and spontaneous tone of the film.
The actors did a lot of improvisation as they were working only from a script outline, which is basically the same fact you just said.
Yeah, well, with 9 facts, we gotta not nitpick. At around 50 minutes, Aaron is playing pool.
Nope. Go back.
At around...
Go to the one above that. That's yours.
Yep. Actor Mark Duplass messed up while trimming his beard, resulting in a noticeable patch of bare skin, so an explanation was invented for his character.
At around 50 minutes, Aaron is playing pool. There's a mural of a castle behind him. That castle is New Schwanstein Castle in South Bavaria, Germany. I don't know
That's
why.
a hell of a fact.
Interesting, I guess.
Film critic, actor, director, and writer
Kailu
Pettis placed this film at number 19 on his list of 20 favorite films released in 2017.
Film critic, actor, producer, and researcher Paul Rudolph placed the film at number 18 on his list of 20 favorite films. Wow, they were stretching to fit some info in here.
In the movie, the creep in question introduces himself as Aaron. This is the real name of the victim in the first movie.
While the Creep films were originally meant to be a trilogy, Mark Duplass has spoken of seeing potential for a prequel focusing on the background of his character. Now, only 2 have come out yet, so we're not going to be reviewing part 3 until, well, it exists.
Right,
but they're already talking there could be a 4th in a prequel form.
Yeah. Aaron, the creep, claims to have killed 39 people in total. And that was his 40. That was his big 40 was.
Whoa,
he
and
wanted to
40
switch
years
something
old
up
is
for
what he
he's
said.
40 years old, right?
40 and 40.
Yep. And the people.
Yes, the people have it scored at 71%.
And the critics have it at a whopping 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Meaning there's not a negative review from a professional critic.
Yeah.
There are critics that have not reviewed it, but the ones that reviewed it all gave it positive, which I can get. Both are higher than the original, and I think that it has to do with the fact that it's a comedy horror instead of a...
Like, it doesn't take itself as seriously as
There's
the
definitely
first one.
humor, though, is my point. It's intentionally funny. A lot of people say that the second... what was that one with Ash?
Evil Dead.
Yeah, the Evil Dead 2 was better because it was funny. I didn't like it better. I didn't like any of those, really. But the point is, I did like the series, and that was full of humor.
Yeah, and I haven't seen the third one. I heard it's the same. So.
But the point is, this did it without just rehashing exactly the same thing, and it added humor, and I like it. I don't know if I like it better. I like it different. Because it's slightly different genre, but it fits perfect for that character.
I mean, yeah, it's just different. I don't know how to say it other than that.
Yeah. What was your favorite scene in this movie? Or do you want to go least first?
That would be a little tougher, so let's go least first.
Okay.
Well, no, that's not tough at all. It shows his penis.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll do it.
And I didn't want to see that.
And in the same scene, it then shows the girl's armpit hair, because that's the equivalent.
Yeah, that's not cool, guy.
Like, I don't care if it shows nudity in a movie. I've seen many a boob in a horror movie. I mean, it's part of the genre. And I get equality, whatever, but why did they think that equal to his weenie was her armpit hair? That is not equivalent. That is not equal. That is just odd.
It was
You flinched at
unpleasant.
both things. I flinched at both things just because we weren't really looking forward to either thing.
No.
And that's not a phobic thing. That's just not our preference thing.
Yeah. So, Mark, keep it in your pants.
The third one is just going to
be.
It's from the perspective
nude
of
on
his
ice.
wang. No. No. Anyway, my least favorite part. Boy, I mean that was probably it too. But if I had just to pick something different to talk about, I'm gonna say the scene where you're expecting. There's a scene where you expect a scare, a jump scare, and they don't do it, which is fine. I don't mind that. But the fact that you hear him growling and you see that he's just laying on his face, supposedly asleep, that was such a dumb thing. Such a dumb thing. I'm sorry.
I had no idea what was going on.
I know. Like, I get that they wanted to subvert your idea of, oh, it's going to be a jump scare, and it wasn't. And I like that. But what they replaced it with
was breathing sand.
Yeah, he's like breathing in dirt. I don't get that. Didn't care for it. So what was your favorite scene?
I'm just gonna have to go with, like, right off the bat when he sits down and explains what he wants her to do. The way he explains, so yeah, I'm a serial killer, and I would like you to document me as a serial killer so that the world can know that I'm the greatest serial killer that has ever been.
Okay, and I'll say my favorite thing, and it's a few scenes that tie together, but basically it's the woman realizes I am in a bad situation. And the main scene that I'm going to say, she's in the bathroom looking into her camera and she goes, look, got all the red flags.
Every single red flag.
Nobody's watching her videos on YouTube. So she's like, I have to do it anyway because this is going to be amazing if I get the stuff that I'm hoping to get. So unlike a lot of horror movies where it's like, oh, why did that person do such a stupid thing? They actually give a reason for her to do it that makes sense why someone might do it. It made sense for her character at that point in her life to ignore the red flags and go on and do it anyway. And I like that because otherwise I would be sitting here complaining there was no reason that she should have stayed.
I mean, even with her reason, it's like, I wouldn't have stayed.
Right, but you can also see how someone might. And that's what you need.
She was just desperate, I guess.
Yeah, and that's what you need for the movie is a reason. And they gave one that actually explained it. And I also, just a little bonus thing, like the fact that they threw in our favorite scene from the last one.
Yeah.
In this one in a different way.
And in the trailer, kind of.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So, on a scale of 1 to 10.
I'm going 9.5.
9.5. Really?
9.5.
So that's probably higher than what you gave.
I think it was higher than the first one.
I'm going to go with 9, which I think is higher for me too, because
something about the blend of smart-ass, sarcastic.
It was a great sequel to that movie in the way that they made it work. It really was. Which is funny because we first started to watch it. You were like, the first time you were like, I don't like this. And that's what I figured your least favorite was going to be, was that scene, the opening scene. Because that made you want to shut it off the first time. But anyway, we're not going to...
I guess I just approached it wrong because I approached it thinking this is going to be...
More of the same.
More of the same, and which I would have been fine with.
But I think that they found a way to make it better.
But
And I'm looking forward to the third to see what twists and turns they can give it for that.
I guess when I expected more of the same and they didn't give... I was like, well, then it's not what I thought, and I didn't like.
Yeah, well...
But same with Invisible Man.
That's why people need to, like, open their minds to try new things. Because it's like, don't predetermine you're going to hate something.
Right.
Anyway, all right, so now, why don't we get over
up on the side of the screen.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, over there. You can watch this show on Fact TV channel 1076, Thursdays at 8:30 p.m. and Fridays at 7 p.m.
You can like us on Facebook. And when I say us, I don't just mean us. I mean, I do. You can look for Gory Story Time. But I haven't posted anything on that in a while. I got it. You can also look for Fact TV on there.
Yes.
And they stream, school board stuff. They stream a lot of their shows. They're streaming this right now. So if you're watching, sorry about the cussing earlier. I didn't realize we were streaming at the time.
Yeah.
That was for anyone that didn't see it, you won't on
poor
the final
judgment.
version. Yeah, it was poor judgment because we didn't realize. That being said,
you can go to factdate.com and watch just about everything that they do. They have all their meetings and episodes of all the shows that they do, everything, all of it,
and
just everything.
It's a little bonus thing, but also YouTube. You can find the Fact TV YouTube. You can find my YouTube at Juggalo Jakes. It's got episodes of this, music videos. Another show I used to do with Don Schretler called Daddy Issues. Doesn't have all the episodes, but it's got a few. Just give them a look-see. I don't make any money off it because I'm not a partner with YouTube on those. No. I just throw them up there for funsies and hope people will watch.
Yeah. You can follow us on Twitter. I'm at JasonTJake17, capital J, capital T, capital J, capital 17.
And I'm at Craig Jakes, all one word, all lowercase. And we don't really talk about the show. And people tend to unfollow us as fast as they follow us.
Yeah.
And that's about it for this week. So
until next time, I'm your host, Jason.
I'm his co-host and his father, Craig.
And sweet dreams.